Well, hello, guys. Thanks, everybody, for coming back after show and tell. I got a fun show and sell for you tonight with Patrick, Trusty Huckster Mercantile. I'm thrilled that
Hello.
we're finally having a sale together. Yay.
Thrilled to be here. Thrilled to have a sale on someone else's channel. For those that don't know how StreamYard works, or how we typically do sales, since I'm not hosting it, my experience is very simple, and I don't have to keep track of anything. So thumbs up from me. So
Yeah.
Katie gets to be at the control panel, and I'm just gonna be here and have some fun tonight.
Which is always fun when you're a second guest on another channel, because Patrick's right. You're not operating a whole bunch of streaming equipment while you're selling. You're just getting there, having fun. It's really nice. So I see lots of people coming over from the show and tell, which is fantastic. Carrie's in the chat. Hello, welcome. MJ is here. Welcome, MJ. Jay Goodwin switched right over. Yay, Jay. Linda is here, Florida resident. Claudia Patterson, welcome. Martha, Vintage Conversation. My mom's in the chat.
Hi, Mom.
Fantastic. Chad, Shop Retro Jays, is here. Vintage Vinny tuning back in, always supporting everybody. I see Daniel is here. Mimi's Treasure Cottage, Cindy is still at the studio getting ready to go home. Awesome. And Nate is a rock star, guys. If you do not follow Nate on Instagram, go follow Nate. He is amazing, but he also helps all of us keep track and put in emails, and he is just amazing. So Nate, big round of applause to you. Thank you so much. Yay. Sandy's coming in. Let's see who else is in the chat. Sam is back. Oh, man, he's got a great Instagram as well. Sam Doyen. Definitely go check out him.
And I got Sam to agree to do a deep dive with me. So he will actually be doing a deep dive on his dining at sea travel menus.
Amazing.
That'll be coming up in August.
I can't wait to see that, Sam. That is going to be great. So, guys, definitely go subscribe to Patrick, Trusty Huckster Mercantile. His link is down below. And, of course, Nate, I'm sure we'll put it in throughout the evening. But Sam will be on for, I keep wanting to say show and tells, but I do show and tells, and Patrick does the deep dives. But he will be on for a deep dive, which are fantastic. So check those out. Peterson is joining in. Hello, Peterson. Maria, so many folks in the chat. Judy, thank you guys so much for joining tonight. We want to hop right into the sale. A couple of housekeeping things first is this is a first to claim sale. So that means that we do not do offer ups tonight. It is all just whoever types in the number first will get the item. So that is how we are doing things tonight. If you do win something tonight, please make sure that you email us right away so that we can get your items out to you. So my email and Patrick's email are scrolling across the bottom of the screen. We do ask that you send your name, your address, your PayPal email, and your YouTube name to the seller you bought from. And even though Patrick and I are in the same sale tonight, we cannot combine shipping. I live in Florida. Patrick is in Illinois, so we are doing things separately, so we cannot invoice together. But the sooner you email us, the faster we can get our invoices out. I typically invoice over the weekend. Patrick, I think you do the same as well.
I will try and do the same, and then I still will have my regular weekly sale tomorrow night. I normally do my sales on Thursdays. I will continue to have my sale tomorrow night, so anyone that buys tonight, I will combine if you happen to buy anything tomorrow night as well. So, but invoices for both sales will go out over the weekend.
Fantastic. That is wonderful, Patrick. And I do see that Dallas City Vintage popped in. I haven't seen Jay in a while. So
hey, Jay.
Oh, Jay. So invoices will be going out over the weekend. Our emails are scrolling down below. Refreshing often during this live sale does help you claim items faster and make you be first, so the more you're fresh, obviously the more chance you have at winning an item. Of course, that does depend on everyone's internet speeds, and they do vary. But refreshing, and make sure that you are in live chat, not top chat. Top chat does some weird things, and you won't always see things in the correct order. So live chat does help. And if you do think you're first, go ahead and put that in the chat, and Nate can verify. But what Nate says and calls is final, and I will be watching for Nate's messages to us so that we can announce who wins the item. There is some feedback coming. Okay. Do you hear any feedback, Patrick, on your end? Okay, I wonder if it's, I had to get a new computer today, guys, so I do have this other microphone plugged in, and maybe that's giving some feedback, even though it's working, not working. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, folks, let's see. When Patrick unmutes, I hear it on your end, Patrick.
Okay, so I'm unmuted now, and then I did.
Okay, let's see. It stopped. Let's see if you unmute again, if it's better. Oh, it seems okay now. I think we're all good.
Okay.
That's very weird. Hi, Jamie. Thanks so much for joining in. So thank you everyone so much for joining us tonight. It is just so fun having everybody here. And of course, to do a sale with Patrick. So I'm going to let my guest go first with his first item. So Patrick, take it away.
All right. Well, just as when I host sales, I try and do things that are somewhat related to the people that I'm hosting. So even though I'm being hosted, still wanted to have a connection. And this one's a loose connection, admittedly, but Katie, loves her Coca-Cola, loves her advertising and all the advertising pieces. And I had some advertising pieces that I still had available from some magazines that, unfortunately, they were all from the 60s, Look, Life, a couple of those large format magazines. They had fallen, the spines had split. And so I had separated out some, and I've been selling lots off and on. And so this is just one of the lots. This is part of my Sin collection. So this is the smoking lot. Not saying anything about Katie. I don't think Katie smokes. This just happened. This just happened to be the one that I grabbed. That was on top. So the way I typically do these is I price them based on the full size pages that are available, and there's 5 full size plus a couple loose ones. So you've got the big Fireman Lucky Strike. You've got a full page Kent ad. You've got a full page. What was this? Don. Inspector, what was the? I can't remember. What was the show? That wasn't he the
Inspector Gadget?
Was he Inspector Gadget was the cartoon? What was the guy? There's I think that's the spy guy from the funny spy guy from the TVs. But anyway, L&M, a full one of Cool, and a full one of the Marlboro Man. So, you don't see the Marlboro Man that often anymore. And then a bunch of little ones, so there's like little partial ad pages. So this is of some tobacco tins. Yes, just kind of mixed up. Get smart. There you go, Nettie. Thank you. I knew there was something. It wasn't Inspector Gadget. The pipe. So like I said, 5 full pages plus a little, stack of partial pages. Kind of throw those in for free. We got to sell them based on the full page. So it's $5 for the full set of all of the smoking advertising. $5 by giving me number 70. $5, number 70. And see, I was about ready to try and push the screen back to you, and I can't do that. That's your job.
It's different when you're not actually in the hot seat, Patrick, moving things around.
Exactly.
And that is a great set of advertising. I love those pieces. Very fun. And Dee's joining us. Hi, Dee. Thanks so much for tuning in. So the first item I have tonight is a really cool piece of advertising, really lovely for a bathroom. This is a cold cream jar, probably from the 1940s or 50s. It's perfect cold cream, Daggett and Rasselman out of New York City. It has a really cool rusty, crusty graphic on the top. Beautiful design going around the outside. I just love that detail. And I will say that the only thing wrong with this is the lid is stuck on. You cannot get the lid off. It is definitely rusted on there. I've tried hot water. I've tried everything, and the lid's just not coming off. But you guys can work on that, whoever gets this. If you want to try to get it off some other way, definitely go for it. It has some amazing embossing on the bottom. I love the embossing on this. This is Daggett and Company Chemists on the bottom, trademark. Just a very, very cool jar. And this little cold cream jar can be yours for only $12. $12 by giving me number 3. $12, number 3, for the perfect cold cream jar.
All right. So on some of my previous sales, I've mentioned that I had gone to an estate sale and picked up a bunch of Wade. She was a Wade collector, and so she had Wade whimsies. I'll be offering those in other sales, and just a bunch of different Wade pieces. A lot of them I had never seen. This is one of the ones that I picked up. Now, this one I will say is not marked Wade, and it's actually marked in a way that I would not. I don't know if Wade does mark items in this way. So this could actually be, you know, a little misnomer or somehow ended up in her collection. It has the look of Wade. It's got that dark green glaze, but it doesn't have the clovers going around, which a lot of the Wade pieces would have. It's just kind of more like a scroll work. So perfect for air plants. I know Dee says she kills all of her air plants. Trust me, Dee, I'm right there with you. Mine are all DEAD, dead. They did not survive. So it's a perfect size for just a small little air plant, or, you know, a little bit of some coins. It is a small urn. Because I don't know for sure that it's Wade. I could not find the image even looking under Wade. I can't swear that it's Wade, so I'm just going to say it came from a Wade collector. But I'm just selling it for $5 because I don't know exactly what that is. So $5 for the Wade or pseudo Wade urn, $5 by giving me number 69. $5.69 for the little urn.
Just gorgeous. And I'm working on that feedback, guys. I don't know what that is. I've moved all my devices away, and so we'll see if that gets better. I'm doing my best. And I do see that Jeannie Lyle, my mom, is getting number 3. So yay, Mom. I know you really wanted that piece. Congratulations. And the next item that I have for you is a beautiful gold-toned heart brooch. This is just a really substantial piece. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is very, very heavy. Now, I don't know the age of this. It definitely has kind of a more modern feel to it, maybe 80s or 90s. It is marked with a little C on the back, so I don't know what that mark is. But it is a signed piece with the C. It's got a really great working clasps. And this is heavy, and it's kind of a brushed gold. It's just absolutely gorgeous. A wonderful statement piece on a lapel or a collar. I mean, you could just do so much. Even put this on a hat. I think that would be really, really fun. So you can do a lot with this really fabulous little heart brooch. Perfect. It goes with everything. And for the heart brooch, you can have this for only $8. $8 for the heart brooch by giving me number 4. $8, number 4 for the gold-toned heart brooch. Patrick, you're muted.
Let's unmute myself. Thank you to my flea market treasures for picking up number 69, the Wade urn. So thank you for picking it up. I don't know if I've sold you before or if I have your information. So if you haven't, just make sure you send an email to me and I will send you an invoice with shipping. And it's pretty lightweight, so it should not cost all that much to ship. So Katie showed a brooch. I will see your brooch and up you my own brooch. So this is, if you follow me and Katie as well, if you follow us on Instagram, I've been posting some of the items that I have available for that it was going to go into tonight's sale. And this was one that got quite a bit of attention. It is a fairly large diameter brooch. It is 3 inches in diameter. It is a signed Sarah Coventry brooch. See if it'll pick it up. You can see there's the signatures there. I don't know if you can actually read it, but it's SARAHCOV, which ended up being the exact same font as another one that I had marked that everyone told me was Sarah Coventry, but I didn't believe them. Now that I've seen what Sarah Coventry's mark is supposed to look like, yeah, that other one I had was Sarah Coventry. So it's got the faux pearl in the middle. It is not bejeweled or bedazzled or rhinestoned in any way. It's just the silver tone is cut to give it a great faceted look so that it shines. Look at the light just kind of shine off of that. It's just a great showpiece brooch, signed Sarah Coventry, 3 inches in diameter, and it is $15. So $15 for the Sarah Coventry brooch by giving me number 86. $15. I don't know if I said 15. It's $15. Number 86 for the Sarah Coventry brooch.
That is gorgeous, Patrick. What a stunner. And the next piece that I have for you is a really beautiful crocheted linen set. I just love these. They look great on a vanity. You can do so many different things with these, and they're perfect again this time of year for 4th of July and all kinds of other fun decorating. So you're going to get this whole set here. Absolutely perfect condition, no rips, no tears, no staining that I can see. So you get this first doily here. You get the second doily. Now, these two are the same size. They're about 4 inches across. And then you get the large doily. And this would be great for a long dining room table in the center. You could put your salt and pepper shakers on this. This is really large, or even drape it over a suitcase with perfume and gloves and all kinds of things that people like to do with these. And again, great for your tiered trays for 4th of July with that blue and white. Really, really beautiful hand done piece. I believe it's hand done. Look at the detail on this. And it's kind of got an ombre effect with the light and the dark blue. I just adore this, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So you can have this whole vintage linen set for only $12. $12 for the vintage linens by giving me number 10. $12, number 10 for the gorgeous linen set.
All right, so thank you and congratulations to For Sandy's Lilacs for picking up the Sarah Coventry brooch. So I hope you enjoy that. I am muting myself in between, and it seemed like when I was muted, it said the feedback was gone. So I don't know if now that I'm unmuted, if it's back. I've never had a feedback problem, so I apologize if I'm the one causing it. I'm not hearing anything, so I apologize if it's me. The next piece, again, was picked up specifically for this sale because when I saw it, I thought of Katie. And I've never seen one before. And I just thought it was just a cool little piece of camera film, kind of industrial. It is a quick splicer. And it's just going to be a cool piece of metal, a little bit of rusty, not quite so crusty, maybe a little bit of dusty. That will look great in one of your junk jars, could look great as a little paperweight. It literally is a film splicer. So you can see there's a little slot that the film would go through. And when you push down on the little lever, it would actually splice your film. I did offer it to Katie first, but she says she already has one. I think hers had a cool little name on it. I think it was like something like the butt splicer or something like that. So I only have the quick splice. I'm not as cool to have a butt splicer, but I still thought it was a cool piece. I still thought it was a cool piece of industrial, and it still made me think of Katie to have in Katie's sale. So we've got the little quick splice, metal industrial, lightweight for $8. $8 for the little quick splice, $8 by giving me number 80. $8, number 80 for the splicer.
How fun, Patrick. And yes, I had a butt quick splicer by the same company. So that's really fun. That one's a little different. And it seems to be happening, the feedback on my end. So I am so sorry about that, folks. I don't know what to do about that. I got a new computer. I'm not able to plug in my microphone yet because the software needs to download on that. So hopefully we'll get all that remedied next week. Okay, a big thank you and congratulations to Fatbird Finds. I think it's Laura in the chat tonight for picking up that linen set, number 10. Congratulations on that. And the next item I have is pretty cool, another great piece of advertising and one that's a pretty hot commodity in our community. Yes, indeed, I do have a fabulous Scotch tape tin for you. Look at this. Now, this is the smaller one. It's the large economy size. It's not the giant ones or the medium-sized one. This is the kind of regular size Scotch tape for cellophane. The graphics are in absolutely great condition. It's got that rusty, crusty, dusty that we all know and love. The plaid really shows up quite well. There's a little bit of scratching here, but again, that's kind of what we like with this rusty advertising, and it's so fun. Everybody loves the Scotch tape tins. It's very clean on the inside. The back has a little bit of tape where somebody probably once put some tape, and it's got a tiny little dent there. But again, with this advertising, that's the kind of thing that we're looking for, is some real age and wear to it. So I've got the fabulous Scotch tape tin for only $12. $12 for the Scotch tape tin by giving me number 1. Number 1, $12 for the Scotch plaid tape tin.
I'm crazily trying to close windows to make sure I've got nothing feeding back to make sure it's not me. But so thank you to Melody for picking up the quick splicer. And I hope you enjoy that and have fun splicing things. So not everything that I have is industrial, but as I mentioned, I did pick up quite a bit of merchandise from that collector that did have Wade. And even if the urn was not Wade, this little puppy is. So I have never seen these before. They're called whim trays. And it says that, the only reason I know that is because it says it right on the bottom. So they're called whim trays, spelled W-H-I-M. So the same way they would spell Wade Whimsies. And it's Wade porcelain made in England. And it's the size of a whimsy, but if you are familiar with Wade Whimsies, they're not typically painted that well. So you've got the stripes on the tail, you've got stripes in the face, you've got the little mask around his eyes. He's very nicely done for such a small piece. And then he is glued onto this little trinket dish. I'm pretty sure it is jet black. So you've got the black stripes on the tail. So I think that is jet black. At one point I was holding it, I thought it was dark blue, but I'm pretty sure it's jet black. So it's in absolutely perfect condition. There's no chips, there's no cracks. I'm not 100% sure how he's attached. Like, I'm assuming he was set on there and then it was fired together. I don't think he was just glued on, but it's kind of hard to tell. So I don't 100% know how these were made. I think I have one more which has a dog on it, and that'll be part of the fundraiser that I do for the Dachshunds in November. So this is the only whim tray that I have available in my general sales. And so it is the little raccoon buddy whim tray. And the little raccoon whim tray is available for $12. So $12 for the raccoon whim tray, $12 by giving me number 83. $12.83 for the little whim tray.
And people are loving that guy in the chat. He's an adorable little trash panda. That's what we call raccoons, and I just love him. He is great. Well, congratulations to Joanne Johnson for picking up number 1, the Scotch Tape 10. Congratulations on that. And since Patrick showed a bit of pottery, I thought I'd show something kind of similar. I have a really beautiful teacup for you tonight, and this teacup is extra special. It is in the green color. It's got that beautiful kind of petalware leaf design. And what's neat about this is it actually is marked Gold Castle, Japan. Now, it's not just Japan, it's made in Japan. And this back stamp here dates this green teacup from 1918 to 1920. So this definitely has some age. And it is amazing that it has survived all these years. The gold is in pretty good shape for its age. There's a little bit of wear to the gold around the outside rim, but nothing to really write home about. You've got the gorgeous gold handle that is in absolutely amazing condition, and then you've got the saucer as well to go with it, and it's got its Gold Castle made in Japan mark as well. And this is just absolutely gorgeous. There's a little bit of something here, I think, where the teacup was sitting, but I'm sure if you wanted to carefully wash that up, you could. I didn't want to damage it, so I'm going to leave that up to the buyer. But this is just a really lovely set for all your tea needs, or for a little display. You can put an airplane in it. You can do so much with these little teacups. So for this Gold Castle teacup, you can have it for only $12. $12 by giving me number 13. $12 for the Gold Castle teacup.
So thank you and congratulations to Helen Casey for picking up the trash, what did you call it? Trash Panda, the raccoon whim tray that I had on offer. I don't know if I've seen him in the chat, but Katie also did a joint project with Daniel from Tacky Is Me. And they, as they are also trying to bring back the brooch, they're also trying to show the joys and collectability of clear glass, which I also happen to love. So I am bringing my contribution to the Bring Back the Clear Glass, which I don't think is a hashtag, but maybe it should be. This was actually, I did not post this on my Instagram specifically for this sale, but it was on my Instagram probably a week or two ago where I was pushing this out into the Hive Mind community to try and identify it. And it was identified by none less than the docent that gave me the Cambridge tour. If you've seen my channel, I have a interview or the tour and interview at the Cambridge Glass Museum. she started following me on Instagram, and now she identifies all my glass. So this is it is a Cambridge two-handled bowl in the Chantilly etch. And if anyone was going to know the name of the etch, it was going to be the woman that runs the Cambridge Museum. So thank you, Anna, for helping me identify it. So it is a Cambridge. She didn't name the pattern of the bowl, so that I'm not sure of, but it's got this really cool, it's like not really scallop, but kind of like this running scallop around the border. And then the etch, what I really liked is how that one flower of the etch goes right up into the scallop. It's just beautifully done, as all Cambridge glass is. As beautiful as clear glass is, it doesn't go for as much as colored glass, so it's a great price. Cambridge Chantilly etch, it's only $12. $12 for the Chantilly etch bowl, $12 by giving me number 78. 78, $12 for the Cambridge Chantilly etch.
And that is just stunning, Patrick. And yes, we need to bring back the clear glass and make it just as desirable and lovable as the colored glass, because it does go with everything in our house. Well, a big congratulations and thank you to For Sandy's Lilacs for picking up my last item. I've got another fun piece of advertising for you, and this one is just really cool. This is Briggs Pipe Mixture, and I love this tobacco tin. It says, "When a feller needs a friend," and you've got that cool suit jacket sleeve with the guy and holding the pipe in his hand. Now, this one's really neat because it's actually the brown version of this tin. So this dates this to about 1950. There are other versions of this. I actually have a black one in my own personal collection. And what's neat is this has the tax stamp. There's still some remnants of that tax stamp. It's not fully there, but you can see the tax stamp there. And it's just got some really fantastic graphics. And this is in great shape. Now, this is a little pocket tobacco tin, so you could have slipped this in your pocket. And it's very clean on the inside when you open it up. So you can do quite a lot of things with these. I've actually seen people put iPods and all kinds of other things in here to store them because it's a really nice protective hard shell. So you can actually use this to put things inside of it and carry it around in your pocket. So there's lots of uses for these. They also look great in a little vignette or display, and a really cool piece of Briggs Pipe Mixture, When a Feller Needs a Friend, 1950s advertising. So for this advertising piece, you can have it for only $12. $12 by giving me number 7. $7, $12, number 7 for the 1950s tobacco tin.
So my next item I actually did have in my Instagram feed specifically for tonight's sale. When I picked this up, I thought this would be a fun item to include because I do like to do pottery. Katie likes pottery, but she doesn't want to collect it all the time. So it's still something that, I don't know, made me think of, maybe made me think of Louie more than it made me think of Katie. But it is the Humpty Dumpty bank from Brush McCoy. So as most Brush McCoy is not stamped, is not marked, had to do a little bit of digging because the cookie jar is reproduced in the Humpty Dumpty. This is the bank, and from what I can tell, the bank is not reproduced. So this is still in the original, and the colors all match what the way it's painted in the originals in the Brush McCoy books. So I do believe this to be, and I bought it as a Brush McCoy Humpty Dumpty bank. It is missing the stopper, but it's fairly standard size if you were to actually want to use it as a bank. But as a shelf sitter, it's just pretty cool. And it is in great condition. There's no chips, there's no cracks, there's not even really any crazing. I say not really any, I don't see any crazing. So it's just a great looking piece, and it is available for $25. So $25 for the Humpty Dumpty Brush McCoy bank, giving me number 94. $25, 94 for the Humpty Dumpty.
Oh, I like him. He is so much fun. And Jay at Dallas City Vintage is picking up my last item, the tobacco tin. So congratulations, Jay. Now, the next item I have is in honor of Patrick, since he's into to porcelain and pottery. Now, he probably doesn't collect this type of pottery, but it's just in honor of him. And this is a really neat looking picture. I love this. Now, this is Roseville, but it's not the Roseville that makes the wall pockets. If you've been watching George the Antique Nomad, he actually talks about how there's two Rosevilles, and this is the second Roseville pottery company from the early 80s and 90s. And this has the Roseville mark. It's got the little green protective feet, and it's hand painted, and it's just a really, really pretty glaze. I love the grapes on this, and you've got the hand painted signature right there on the side. There's some crazing on this that is just really fantastic. And then you've got this neat textured kind of black glaze up at the top, shiny glaze with the hand painted on the bottom. This is fully glazed inside, so you can actually use this for your water by your bed. You could put some water in it, put flowers in it, put it on your center table. I mean, there is just endless possibilities with this piece, and it's absolutely amazing, amazing, and it's in great condition. No chips, cracks, or issues that I can find on this piece, and it is pretty substantial. Now, do keep in mind I am shipping from Florida, and this probably weighs close to a pound, so it will be a little heavier to ship than most of my items, but nothing too bad. So for this Roseville pottery piece, you can have it for only $18. $18 for the Roseville pottery pitcher by giving me number 6. $18, number 6 for the fabulous pitcher.
All right, thank you to Chad Retro Days for picking up the Humpty Dumpty Bank, and then he also backpedaled and grabbed the Cambridge Chantilly Etch glass bowl. You know, 'cause I'm going to ship one box to him, might as well throw both pieces into the same box. So thank you so much for Chad for picking those up. The next item I've got, it's going to be one of my multiples. I try and pick up multiples when I can, so it's a little bit more fun for people that feel that their internets are too slow. You can try and jump in and be one of the first multiple people to try and grab this. And this one I have a set of 3, and what they are antique. I just saw that Peterson's in Nebraska. Sorry, I don't have Nebraska. What I have is Missouri and Kansas tax coins or tax tokens. So I sold some Ohio tax stamps that were in paper form. I sold those in a sale a few weeks ago. These are the coins. Now, unfortunately, the coins are not dated. So I do not know the era of these, but I believe just by doing the history and searching on these, they appear to be like from the 30s to the 40s. So you can see they've got a little bit of the rusty, a little bit of the crusty, but it has the outline of Missouri on there, and it does say tax receipt there on the bottom. It says Missouri on there. So you've got, that's the largest one. The second largest has a hole in the middle, and that one is also Missouri. And then you've got the silver toned one, also with a hole in it. That one's a lot easier to read. It's a lot shinier. That one's the Kansas sales tax token. And then the tiniest one does not have the hole, but it's got the K in the middle, and it also says Kansas. So this was a 2-cent tax token. The one with the hole was a 1-cent tax. So these, it was unclear, even when we had the paper ones, it's unclear exactly what these were being used for. But so this is a set of the 4 tax tokens, 2 from Missouri, 2 from Kansas. You can toss them into one of the, if you've got one of the junk jars, there'd be some cool rusty crusty going into those. But I would think these would be cool, even throwing these onto a keychain or onto a necklace, because it's got the hole in it. You kind of have like a pretty unique charm going on to some jewelry. So you get the set of 4, and I have 3 sets available. So the first 3 people that enter the following number will get it. If you want more than one, if there's not a lot of people that want them, enter one, enter the number, hit enter, then try and enter it again. It'll just be the first 3 people. And if you're quick, maybe you'll get more than one set. So it's the 4 antique tax tokens or vintage tax tokens from Kansas and Missouri. The entire set of 4 is only $6. 3 sets available by giving me number 75. $6.75 for the set of tax tokens.
Those are really cool, Patrick, and they would look great in a printer's tray. Now, the next item I have is really cool, and I was thrilled to find this. This is probably, I'm guessing, from the 1950s, maybe 1940s. It's just very cool. This is Clinton blanket pens. So I think that these are for babies, and they have some really incredible graphics on it. I love the leaves going around here. I think these are like oak leaves, or maybe down here because I see acorns. So I'm guessing oak leaves, maybe holly leaves, but they are really, really neat. And this card is in amazing shape. It's got both of its blanket pens, 25 cents, made in the USA. You've got the Oakville Company Division, regular US patent off. Now, there is no zip code, but it doesn't mean that necessarily they would have put a zip code on this in the address there going around the circle. Then you've got Clinton, and you've got the back. Now, I do want to point out that there was a sticker on this. I hate when they put the stickers on things. And pulling it off, even though I was very careful, I accidentally did rip some of this. So that is there. But if you flip it around, you know, for a vignette or display, you're not really going to see that. This is just a really cool piece of advertising. This would be great in a baby's room. You can hang it on the wall because there is a little hole here if you'd like to display it, like above a diaper changing station, or you could just put it in a metal flower frog. I mean, I think that would look really, really cool in a display. So for the Clinton blanket pens, you can have them for only $8. $8 for the Clinton blanket pens, giving me number 11. $8, number 11 for the Clinton blanket pens.
All right, so the antique sales tokens, I did sell one set, went to Melody. So thank you, Melody, for picking up one of the sets of coins. So I still have two of those sets available. Those were $6, number 75. So those are still available. If you're familiar with my sales on my channel, one of the things that I've been doing, and I always give shout out credit to Fatbird Finds, I think there might even be here tonight, that they kind of introduced the concept of mystery boxes in these live sales. And I've absolutely stolen that idea and offer the same mystery boxes. I offer them for the same price, fun price of $15. But because they tend to be one of the most popular items I ever offer, I do offer them in a slightly different way. First, everybody gets, you know, one item that'll be in the mystery box. It is a vintage maxi pad. If you've not watched my channel, you don't know the story behind these, but there is a story, and I will just say you get one. But the way I will now do this is it is a $15 mystery box. It will typically have between $25 and $30 worth of stuff in it. It's always going to be multiples of small stuff, so it's more fun to open. And between some of the items, hopefully you'll have something fun. I've had people buy them, repeat buyers, so I'm assuming they like the mystery boxes that I offer. And the maxi pads, there is definitely Nate's part of that story. He has one now too. But anyway, this, because they're most popular, and I do recognize some people feel that the slow internet, precludes them from being able to get things. This is the way I do it. Instead of telling you the number and asking you to be the first person to type it in, I make you guess it. So what I will give you is I will give you the range of what this number falls under. Nate knows what the number is. The first person to enter the number will be the person that claims the item. So I will tell you the range. You can enter more than one number. Just put the number in, hit enter, then hit another number, hit enter. You can put as many as you can until we see the first person that puts in the correct number. So $15 mystery box, one available tonight. And in order to claim it, you need to type in the right number between the number of 90 and 99. It's in the 90s. So between 90 and 99 will be the person that claims the mystery box. And I don't know if you want to just go ahead and sell your item or if you want to wait until we see it come over.
I'll just go ahead and sell mine, Patrick, and then
Okay.
we'll come back to you. But those maxi pads were epic, and I have one now too, so I'm very excited to be part of the maxi pad club. So congratulations.
Okay, that's disturbing that there's a maxi pad club, and even more disturbing if I'm the president.
Well, guys, a big congratulations to Sandy for she's picking up my last item, the blanket pens, and I've got a really another neat vanity item for you tonight. This is a Max Factor Society makeup face powder tin, and this is just so cool. Now, this tin is from the 1940s. This is not the one that has the cardboard, so it's not the one from the 1920s. This is the one from the 40s. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's got the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, and it's just so fun. And I recently saw a video of a gentleman that had bought a whole case of Max Factor's makeup from a gentleman that did clown work back in the 40s, and it was really amazing to see. So these look fantastic displayed on your vanity, and this one is very clean for the most part inside compared to most of the ones that I've seen. There's not a lot of rusting happening. So you can actually put something inside this like cotton balls, or maybe you could put a face powder in it if you still wanted to. You could do a lot with this. And it is just a really cool tin from the 1940s. So if you would like this Max Factors, that's a little hard to say, Max Factor Society Makeup 10, you can have it for only $15, $15 from the 1940s 10 by giving me number 12, $15, number 12 for the Max Factors 10.
So congratulations to Martha from Vintage Conversation. The number was 92, and she was the first person to correctly enter that number. So can't remember if you've won one of my boxes before, so I hope you enjoy it. And Martha is also starting to do her live sales. My sale will be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. I will wrap up by 10 p.m. Eastern. And that is when Martha starts hers. So you kind of a run of sales almost every night, but there used to be a gap after mine, and Martha is now filling that gap. And then Nancy's still doing, I don't know if she's going to do hers again at 11. She had to take a couple weeks off. But anyway, so thank you, Martha, and congratulations for picking that up. So this next item, again, I picked this up specifically for the sale with Katie, because Katie loves her copper. And I always feel guilty when I find things I know Katie will like, because when we sell them together, she can't buy them. But I have a feeling that this is not necessarily one that she would need to add to her collection. But it is a silent butler. And the concept behind a silent butler is you would have a little pan like this with the lid that flips up, with just a touch of a thumb. And then you have a little brush, and you could brush the crumbs off of the table in order to serve dessert. So if you had breadcrumbs or whatever from the full service of your dinner, you'd be able to brush all those out of the way in a very fancy way. And then you'd be able to serve your dessert without having those nasty old breadcrumbs sitting around. So not necessarily it's a daily user anymore, but it's definitely falling into that. Nate is probably having hyperventilating right now because he would want to polish this, but it is a copper with a very cool crest molded into the top that is definitely showing signs of its age and some oxidation to it. So it just gives it a great industrial look. I do not believe this is Bakelite. However, I will say I think it looks like Bakelite, but I did that weird sniffing thing that I don't know if I've ever smelled Bakelite, because I've never figured out what it's supposed to smell like. So whatever the case is, I will just say it has a plastic / maybe Bakelite handle. I'm not sure if it's old enough to be Bakelite, because I would have said this is probably from the 40s or 50s. Yes, there he goes. Nate's recovering. So he can't get his hands on it. He's in New Zealand, so he won't be able to show up and polish it once you buy it. I will say the lid it's held on by like the way the metal kind of grasps around the opening. So as a result, it's kind of wiggly because there's really no way to tighten it. And then the handle itself is a little wiggly. That does have a way to tighten it, but I'll be perfectly honest. I tried to tighten those and it didn't do anything. So I was afraid to force it. If you're just looking for something that looks kind of cool in a vignette to give you that metallic look, it's pretty cool. I priced it based on its condition. I just thought it was a neat piece, and I thought it'd be fun to sell in Katie's sale. So it's a little copper silent butler, and you can have it for $6. So $6 for the copper butler by giving me number 91. $6, number 91 for the copper silent butler.
That is really cool, Patrick. Love those silent butlers, and love crummers too. I have a little collection of vintage crummers, if you know what that is. So Nettie won my last item, Nettie with the cute little pug. So congratulations, Nettie. And I've got another Scotch item up for you guys tonight. I know how much we love the Scotch plaid. There's just something pretty magical about it. And this one is the one that you just don't see every day. You see the Scotch tape tins, the electrical tins, but this is Scotch rubber adhesive, and it sticks to anything. And this is just such a cool little box. It is cardboard. It's got its Scotch plaid. I do want to point out on the bottom, there is a little bit of a condition issue there because somebody has stuck a sticker to it. Those stickers. But if you're setting it down, you're really not going to notice it. And you can't open the box on this end anyway. This is still sealed shut. So there's really no reason to see that part. This does open. There's a little wear to the lid. But of course, all of these cool advertising pieces are going to have some wear. That rusty, crusty, fun advertising is what we are looking for. This does still have the rubber adhesive on the inside. Now, there is a little bit of glue that got stuck down to the bottom, so I cannot get this out. I do not want to force it because this is cardboard and I don't want it to fall apart. So I am just making you aware of that. Of course, I don't think anyone's actually going to use the rubber adhesive anymore. This is just for the cool box. So this Scotch brand rubber adhesive is available for only $10. $10 for the Scotch rubber adhesive. That's not particularly common. And you can have this for number 14. $10, number 14 for the Scotch brand rubber adhesive.
Thank you to Sandy from For Sandy Lilacs for picking up the copper silent butler. And if you joined late, in my case, I also will have my regular sale tomorrow night. So for anyone who is a regular purchaser or joins my regular sales, anything you buy tonight, I will combine with shipments tomorrow night for anything you buy tomorrow night and invoice everything over the weekend. So thank you so much for picking that up, Sandy. All right, the next item is an item that it was probably 2 weeks ago I offered in my regular sale, and it was a case where I had 10 of them, and depending on their popularity, I did have access, or I thought I would have access to get more, and it turned out I did. So I'm offering, I'm still offering the people that had asked for them that I ran out of. I still have to get offers to those. So I have at least 12 more, possibly more, depending on if some people change their mind that wanted the other ones. But what they are they are Prohibition era medicinal liquor prescriptions. So you can see right at the top, it is a prescription form for medicinal liquor. So the concept behind these was a enterprising physician would make prescriptions for, if you see right there at the top, right next to the little RX symbol underneath the red letters or red letter and numbers, it says right on there, this is a prescription for whiskey. So the difference between the whiskey prescriptions I had last time and these is these are a little bit later. It turned out that what he had set out before were all from the 20s. So what I sold last week were all 1928 and 1929, or 2 weeks ago. The ones that I have now, he dipped into his stash, and these are all dated 1930 and 1931. So now we are not just in Prohibition, we are in Prohibition and the Depression. So, you know, you're in the Depression, you're even having more need for whiskey. So these are available at the exact same price they were before. They all basically look the same. Some cases, the handwriting's a little bit different. It shows the date that they were issued. This one was issued on July 27th, 1931, and it was fulfilled on July 27th, 1931. They got that prescription for whiskey and they filled it in the exact same day. And they were all done, and this is what I think is the funniest about all of them, they were all from a physician based in Washington, D.C. So in the nation's capital, the people who were responsible for Prohibition, you've got a doctor issuing whiskey prescriptions to get around Prohibition. So, and yeah, Jay, they're all in cursive. Some of them said something other than whiskey. It was like the medicinal name for an alcohol. But I've picked up more that are whiskey. So I can sell 12 tonight. I may have more to be able to sell at my other sale, depending on yeses or nos for some of the other people. But at least for tonight, so I gave Nate a breather. He gets to track 12 of these. So the first 12 people selling them for the same price I sold all 10 for last time. They're $25. There's no difference. It's just a different batch. And there are 12 available. $25 for the first 12 people that give me number 95. $25, $95 for the whiskey scripts.
Those are just so cool, Patrick. I love those. And I got one last week for my brother who has a big interest and love of scotch and whiskey. So that will be fun. And I do want to announce that Carrie got my last item, the scotch tape container, and she's sending it to Michelle at Comfy Cozy Living. So that's going to be in a great home. Now, the next item I have, I was so thrilled to actually find this. This is actually a really cool piece of advertising with this yellow and blue. This is Ralph's Spot Remover Stick, and this is actually from 1940. You can see that there is a 2-digit zip code. Now, that came out in the late 40s. 1963 is when they started using 5-digit zip codes, but in the late 40s, they had 2-digit zip codes for large cities, so think like New York or LA. But this is a really, really fabulous little container. It is cardboard, and it still remarkably has its tape inside, its little Scotch tape. This is not Scotch tape, Katie. Spot remover stick, and it's in pretty good condition. Of course, I wouldn't recommend using this. It's just pretty cool that it's still in there. It's got a silver foil bottom with the cool graphics. It's a round spot remover stick. And what's really cool about this is when you do open the tin, not only do you get that cool remover, you get a pamphlet. And this isn't any old pamphlet. This has some amazing graphics inside. Look at that guy with the fabulous suit on, and you got the lady. She's removing something from a carpet. I don't know what spilled, but I guess you could put this on your shirt too. But this booklet is in great condition. I mean, this looked like it was practically never used. And this all folds up into this really neat little cardboard container. It's just so fun and miniature. Great for a printer's tray, all kinds of things. And it says harmless to colors or materials. So I guess you could use this pretty much on anything, and it's a cool little advertising piece from the 1940s. So for this Ralph Spot Remover, you can have it for only $8. $8 by giving me number 9. $8, number 9 for the Ralph Spot Remover.
All right, there appears to be a little chat going on where Nettie is offering to buy a script. No, somebody is offering to buy. No, Carrie's offering to buy a script for Nate. We'll just blow the surprise. Nate is getting one of these for free. I owe Nate a lot more than a whiskey script. So I will be sending Nate one. He's getting one of the ones that I got out of the stash that was not part of the 12. So if that changes, if Carrie, you're only buying one to give us Nate, just let me know. You do not have to buy one. Nate is covered. So he will be getting one. Okay. The next item is something that I did put on my Instagram channel again, and he got quite a bit of attention. What I find interesting is I don't come across Brush McCoy very often. And this sale, I have 2 items for Brush McCoy, and I did not pick them up in the same place. They just both happened to be Brush McCoy. And what I liked about this little guy is when I did the research, I couldn't figure out what he was. He's felted on the bottom, and I didn't want to take that off. That I had to, do a little bit of digging. Somebody, and I love when resellers do this, somebody found him listed in a Brush McCoy book and then scanned the page of the book to show that he is Brush McCoy. Now, he is supposed to be part of a pair. This is very originally named Mr. Turtle. Guess who's missing? Another Mr. Turtle. No, just kidding. It's a Mrs. Turtle. So this is the Mr. Turtle. The Mrs. Turtle is missing, but Mr. Turtle, I'm sorry, the coolest thing ever. Mr. Turtle is wearing a turtleneck. So he is wearing a turtleneck sweater on his actual turtleneck. He does have, a little bit of wear into his facial paint. It was cold painted. You can see, looks like his teeth are bleeding, and his eyes have simplified quite a bit. So they're not quite as robust as they would have been once upon a time. But the rest of him from the photographs in the Brush McCoy book, he would have been all cream colored. So the face would have been painted a little bit more detailed than this, which has taken some wear, but the body is supposed to be beige, and the body is in absolutely perfect condition. So the Mr. Turtle Brush McCoy planter is available for $15. $15 for the Brush McCoy Mr. Turtle by giving me number 93. $15, 93 for Mr. Turtle.
I love that turtle. And he's got a little turtleneck on with lipstick. He's so fun. And of course, he's McCoy, which makes him just extra fabulous. The next item I have is one I know a lot of you guys are going to be really excited about. Yes, I have a pin type flower frog for you. This one is pretty hefty. It's a nice size. It is about 3 inches in diameter. And it is just so cool. Of course, it's got that rusty, crusty look that we all know and love. And these are really fantastic for ephemera pieces. You can do all kinds of things. Postcards, if you've got 4th of July postcards or any type of holiday, you can stick them down in here. Photographs are fantastic in here. The possibilities with these guys are really endless, and they are just so fun. And they're not the easiest things to come by, at least in my area. So I'm very excited that I can offer you this. Now, there is some wear with flower frogs. Of course, sometimes some of the pins are bent. There is some rust going around the outside. I mean, this has been sitting down in water inside of a vase, so it's not looking the most brand new, but that kind of adds to its charm and to its look. And of course, I like that rusty, crusty, dusty look. So I think that this is really fun, and it is great. Now, do keep in mind, this is fairly heavy, but it should be easily about a pound or less to ship, so very easy, but it does have some weight, so if you do live far away, just keep that in mind. So you can have this flower frog for only $15 by giving me number 15. $15, number 15.
All right, and thank you to Nettie for picking up the Mr. Turtle Planter. So good luck in your request for Mrs. Turtle Planter. Next item, this is also something that I've never carried before, but I've heard Katie talk about it. So I thought it was appropriate to pick this up for the Katie sale. And what I found interesting about this is one of those cases, kind of like caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. This was in a sealed plastic, it was all stapled up at a sale. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. The Denisons, the red cardboard hearts, even the folder itself would be kind of cool. And I felt it just to make sure it wasn't an empty folder. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's stuff in there. That's cool. This is, well, I opened it and it is not Denison cardboard hearts. Sometimes life gives you lemons and you make lemonade, because this one instead actually had a box full of the Cupids. So instead of being a Denison hearts folder, it is the Denison, well, I couldn't swear these are Denison, but I'm assuming they are. They're the Denison Cupids. So you can see some great detail in these. They even cut out in between the wings. So you've got some really nice die cutting going on. The wings are feathered. And so you've got a stack of these. Now, some of these have writing on them. I don't know if some of that was the price at some point, 12 for 15. I'm not exactly sure what that would have been. So that one has some handwriting on it and a little bit, it looks like he may have been taped onto something, although it does look like those are letters. So I'm not sure what that one says. The rest of them are in pretty good shape. All of them, are nicely, the wings are all still there. There are no tears. So number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. So you've got 6 of the Cupids, and this would still look cool, like in that little pin flower frog that Katie was selling, just propped up in a Valentine's Day vignette, tiered tray, just as a nice little backdrop, because the Denison cardboard hearts are kind of a cool thing. And you do kind of have this cool little folder. So it's the 6 Cupids plus the hearts folder, the whole set for $8. So $8 for the Denison die cut and folder, $8 by giving me number 96. $8.96 for the Denison Cupids.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, Patrick. Those are so cool. And vintage Valentines is pretty hard to find. So that is really exciting. Now, I've got another little fun thing for you here. I was very excited to find this. And this is a really cool wooden container. Now, I've never seen one of these, and I don't actually know its age. There is no zip code. It definitely has an older feel to it. It has a black stamp on it. And what this is these are needles for some sort of a sewing machine. So if you pull this out, there actually are little needles. Now, I'm assuming that these go into some sort of machine because they're flat on this end. So I'm assuming that you stick them up into the machine, and then there's the needles there, and they've got the little hole where the thread would be threaded inside. So there was at one point, I think 21, because the lid said 21. So I think at one point there were probably 21. There's only 3 remaining in here. But again, you're not using these probably for the needles. But if you have a sewing kit and you've got some needles, you could actually add them to this. And this would be a fun little sewing kit addition to your little sewing stash if you do crafting or sewing. And it's just a fun little thing that you could put into a collage of some kind or a vignette. It's just neat because it's wooden, and I've actually never seen one of these. Now, this is actually probably about, let's see, 2.5 inches long. And Peterson saying 21 is the size of the needle. Yes, that is probably more accurate than the fact that there was 21 of them in there. I don't know a whole lot about sewing, but I do think that this is probably from, if I had to guess, maybe 1950s. It's just such a cool piece of advertising for Boys brand sewing needles, and it's just so fun. Great little piece of advertising, and a cool wooden container. So you can have this wooden container for only $7. $7 by giving me number 8 for the Boy wooden needles. $7, number 8.
So thank you to Jamie from Mid-Century Wasted for picking up the Denison Cupids, and sounds like she has an affinity for those because it seemed people knew that she wanted them. So congratulations, Jamie. Glad you were able to pick those up. All right, we are this far into the sale and I've yet to have a coaster. Well, we're going to fix that. So I always have coasters in my sales, so there's no reason for me to go to somebody else's sale and not also sell coasters. And so this time I am selling an M.A. Hadley sheep coaster. I've had the Hadley coasters before. They're one of the more popular items for Hadley collectors because they may not use them as coasters. They may just use them as decorative dishes, but they're small. So you can collect all of the different patterns that are done for M.A. Hadley from Louisville Pottery or Louisville Stoneware, but you have a smaller piece to be able to display. So this has the sheep design, got the little bell around his neck, and for some reason, a little Eeyore rain cloud hanging over his head, but whatever, he's got the little sheep. And we're going to just look over the fact that they gave him X's on his eyes. So to me, that means he's dead. But there is, I'm happy to own that. I'd rather own that label as the person that makes you think of coasters than the person that makes you think of maxi pads. So we'll just put that out there for the universe. I am the coaster guy. So this is the M.A. Hadley coaster. Now, what is unique about this one, I've never seen an M.A. Hadley coaster where the name is actually incised into the back. Usually this, like the way this blue is done, if you're not familiar with Hadley, that's the way the name would be written on the back. And it would say M.A. Hadley, be written in blue, and it's perfectly, recognizable. This one actually has it incised. I could not find examples or references to why this one was incised, if that makes it earlier or later in the series. But it's, yes, just like Peterson, the name is usually painted on. So this one is a little bit different, but I don't know the significance of that. I don't think that this would be a knockoff. I mean, this is exactly how they're done, the way the stoneware is done. I've carried enough of these pieces. There's no reason for me to believe this isn't anything other than legit. I've just never seen it that way. So I'm selling it as I'm selling all the other Hadley coasters for the same price I sell all the Hadley coasters. Maybe that makes it worth more. Maybe it makes it worth less. I have no idea. But people aren't looking, unless I come to your house, people aren't looking at the bottom of your coaster. They're looking at the top. So the sheep coaster for M.A. Hadley is $10. So $10 for the Hadley sheep, $10 by giving me number 85. $10, 85 for the Hadley sheep.
Oh, wow. And Patrick, yes, he is our coaster dealer. He's our official coaster dealer in the vintage community. And I did see Fatbird Finds' note about the flower frog. So yes, Fatbird Finds is still available, and I will write you down for that. Thank you so, so much. Now, the last item I have for tonight is one that's coming out of my own personal collection. So you can have a piece of vintage and vinyl, and this is definitely something that I truly, truly love. And now it's time to give it a new home. This this is a red wing linseed oil tin, and I think that this is just so cool. This is one of the large size cans, which is just nice. The gallon size. This is 9.5 inches tall. This has so many possibilities. What I really like about this is it's got this carrying handle. And when I had this displayed in my house, I actually put other tins on top of the space up here and had them all kind of displayed together. So it was really a fun vignette. And these are neat because you don't come across the large ones very often. These gallon size ones are not the easiest thing to find. And I just think for 4th of July with that red, white, and blue, really cool wing graphic and the barrel. Of course, Red Wing is so iconic. Just a really cool piece of advertising. Now, this is from the 1950s. It's got some amazing, amazing patina on it. U.S. standard measure, contents 1 gallon on the side. Now, the back side has a little bit more of a faded graphic than the front, but the front does display very, very well with that bright red. And of course, it's got some of that rust on it that we all just love. I mean, you know, the rust is just amazing, and it adds so much character and history to these old pieces because people actually did use these and keep them in their garage. So this fabulous Red Wing linseed oil tin can be yours for a steal of a deal, like Tim would say, for only $25. $25 for the Red Wing linseed oil by giving me number 2. $25, number 2 for the Red Wing linseed oil.
And I agree with Cheryl. Red Wing, I'm also in the Midwest, so Red Wing's a big deal around here. So yeah, Red Wing Pottery is the way to go. So thank you to Nettie for picking up the Dead Sheep Hadley coaster. So I hope you give him a good resting place. The next item, again, I picked up, thought this was a perfect one to sell in Katie's sale because it's going into like a little tin, little container. Now, it is not a typewriter ribbon tin. She always gets first dibs on any of her typewriter ribbon tins that I find. But this one I just thought was kind of cool. I admittedly could not find any other examples of this, but it's this tiny little container, and it is an anti-dim cloth for gas masks. So you've got the container. You can see there's a little bit of oxidation, you got a little bit of rust and wear on it. It does say on the bottom, which is why I was surprised I couldn't find it. I don't know what LMC stands for, and I think that was the problem. If I could figure out what that stood for, maybe I could find this, but it gives you the LMC, I guess, is the maker and then the lot number. And what makes this cooler than most of the tins that I have is when you open it, it still has the gas mask cloth in it. So it is, and you can see there's a little bit of wear at the top, but I don't want to pull it out because I have a feeling this is going to be one of those cases like when you take a sleeping bag out of its container, you'll never be able to get it back in because it's folded perfectly in there. It's also very, very bright. So I don't think this has ever been taken out. I certainly don't think it's ever been used to clean a gas mask. And depending on who used it, you know, maybe it was a Cold War thing. Most people didn't need their gas masks. It could be as old as World War II. Because there is a little bit of wear on there. But again, because I couldn't find another example of it, I can't really say what era this would be. But the fact that you're cleaning a gas mask, this isn't from 1996, you know, so that we're getting into an era where this would have been something probably, I mean, I'm not even sure if this would have been a military carry because I don't think a military carry would have had all of the instructions on there. I think you would just, if you're in the military, you just know, here's how you use, this is what you need for your gas mask. I do not know. So I don't know, but it might've been part of a kit. It might've been part of a, evac bag or, bomb shelter. I do not know, but I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a great little rusty, crusty tin. And don't think I could have the smell of napalm in the morning on this one. So but we do have the cloth, we do have the tin, and it's only $9. So $9 for a pretty unique conversation piece. Set that on your bathroom counter and people will really be wondering what you do in your spare time. $9 for the gas mask cloth by giving me number 79. $9.79 for the gas mask tin and cloth.
That is very cool. And I agree. I think that's got to be at least from the 1940s, Patrick. And that is a great item. My last item that I sold went to Logan, the Vintage Scavenger. So thank you so much, Logan. A couple of things that you might have missed at the beginning that are still available is this really amazing gold tone heart brooch. I think it is just so pretty, so elegant, so simple, just fantastic on a black jacket. It just is gorgeous. It is marked with a C. I don't know what the C stands for. I did do some research and I can't find anything about it. It is just absolutely beautiful. The clasp works so well. It's kind of a brushed gold. It's just really, really stunning. Simple, elegant, beautiful. And it was $8. $8 for the gold tone heart by giving me number 4. $8, number 4 for the heart. I do also have the 1940 spot remover, Rouse spot remover with the remover still inside and a pretty cool little instructional booklet. And have this 1940 spot remover for only $8. $8 by giving me number 9. And the last thing that I have to share with you all today is this needle tin. And I do believe that everybody was right in the chat. Don't know why I didn't think of that before, but 21 probably is the gauge of the needles. And I think that this is a really fabulous advertising piece. Again, I don't see the wooden ones too often. I've actually never seen this particular container. And I don't know when this is from. I did do some research and I couldn't find anything. But I'm assuming 1950s or so. It still has 3 of the needles inside that probably would have fit in some sort of a machine. And this is just such a cool little piece. So the boy wooden container is $7 by giving me number 8. And I see number 9 going to Jamie at Mid-Century Wasted. So thank you so much, Jamie. And Patrick, back to you.
Yeah, so I will just, I think you had wrapped up your last item. So I'll just highlight the ones that did not sell. I had a few. This was one that I had multiples of. These are the Missouri and Kansas tax tokens. So there's 2 from Missouri, 2 from Kansas. I have 2 sets left, and these were $6, number 75. And that was 2 of them had the holes and 2 of them were solid. So great for a junk jar or to make into jewelry. So those I still had a pair left, two sets left. That was number 75. I also had my restock of the whiskey prescriptions from Prohibition era. So these were going to be from either 1930 or 1931. I still have, so it looks like Belinda Carroll is taking one of the sets of coins. So thank you, Belinda, for picking those up. These were the prescriptions. Again, they all will say whiskey on them. I specifically made sure I only got the whiskey ones, not the ones that had the chemical, like Latin term for the alcohol. They were all from Washington, D.C., and they're all going to be either from 1930 or 1931. So these were the certificates. Oh, so Belinda wants both remaining sets. Okay, we can do that, Belinda. And then, so if you want, I still have 8 of the whiskey prescriptions left by giving me number 95. Those are $25 each, and they ship for 75 cents. So, it's an inexpensive ship, 95, $25. And then the only other item I had left that did not sell was the batch of smoking advertising ephemera. So they're 5 full-page ads from the 60s Look and Life magazines, including the Marlboro Man, which I was holding upside down. And that was $5 for the set, for $70. So we will add Jamie on to getting a whiskey prescription. So thank you, Jamie, for adding that in. I can tuck that into your box. And the ephemera was number 70. That was $5. And I did have some other items, but I'm not going to show those. I will just carry those into my sale tomorrow night. So we'd be good.
Oops, I'm muted. Fantastic. And Belinda Carroll was asking about the brooch. So here is the gold tone heart brooch, really pretty brushed gold with the C mark on the back. I could not find anything on the C mark, so I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just a copyright, not sure. Beautiful brushed gold, and you can have this for $8, number 4, if you would like the gold tone heart brooch, Belinda. All right. This was so
So
much.
we flew through this. I used to, when I do the group sales and we each have 20 items, we go through 80 items. We barely can get through them in 2 hours. We cranked through in what, like an hour and 15 minutes. We are
Yes,
just speed
I
demons.
know.
Oh, it looks like Belinda's picking up something.
Oh, good. Okay, Belinda, I will write you down for the brooch. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I've got you there. So, guys, this was so much fun. And as Patrick pointed out, it went by so fast and it was just a ball to do. Make sure you do email the seller you purchased from today. We do need your PayPal email, your name, your address, and your YouTube name. And of course, if you have not bought from us, definitely shoot us an email. And if you have, it does help to resend an email just to make sure that we do have the information and nothing has changed. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Invoices for me will be going out over the weekend. I believe Patrick as well. And
yes, I will have mine go out this weekend. And again, reminder that my sale is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I saw that Nancy answered the question in the chat. Unfortunately, Nancy is still not able to do her own sales, but I will have mine at 8 p.m., probably running till about 10 p.m. Eastern. And then Martha from Vintage Conversation, so that's her channel, Vintage Conversation, she will be starting at 10. And then, so I don't know how long hers runs, but Nancy from This Overstuffed House, I hope you're feeling better. You said you started physical therapy today, so good luck with that. And I hope to see you back in the seat in the live sales soon. But for now, so I will then combine any shipments from tonight and tomorrow and invoice everything for my sales over the weekend.
Yes. And Nancy, we are thinking about you, this whole community. And make sure, of course, tomorrow to go check out Patrick. Trusty Huckster Mercantile has sale at 8 p.m. Eastern, as always on Thursday. And then Martha Vintage Conversation directly after. If you are not subscribed to Patrick, please go do so. His link is down below. And let's stop and give Nate a round of applause. He is our rock star tonight. He kept track of everybody. So yay, Nate. Thank you so much for your help. You are invaluable. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And as always, stay in, stay safe, and Vintage YouTube. Bye-bye, folks.
Bye-bye.